Hello friends, welcome to the channel The Word of Ayurveda. Continuing with the digestive system, today I will talk about the journey of food from mouth to stomach. We all know that the mouth is connected with the stomach with the food pipe, technically which is called the esophagus. This 8 to 10 inch long structure is made up of muscles which help in transmission of the food from back of the mouth to entry in the stomach. The entry and exit of the food in the esophagus is both very well regulated. At the entry point, there is epiglottis which prevents the regurgitation of the food into the respiratory tract, which we commonly call a trachea, and closes the mouth of the trachea so that food goes without any disturbance into the muscular esophagus, which by its muscular movement takes it to the stomach. The entry into the stomach is again regulated by a sphincter we call as gastroesophageal sphincter. The esophagus is as muscular as the stomach is, but it is not doing any function of digestion in human structure. Neither it is doing any function of storage of the food. It simply is a tube which connects the mouth with the stomach and take the food which is partially processed in the mouth, as discussed previously, into the stomach for further digestion. Sometimes we do develop the problems of the esophagus. Now, if we are careless while taking food, or talking or laughing while eating food, or in very advanced old days, our epiglottis or sphincter is weak, or we are under sedation, there is every chance that food may be regurgitated into the trachea, leading to a serious bout of coughing, which is very choking in nature. Similarly, at the lower end, the sphincter, which we call as gastroesophageal sphincter, is equally important, because otherwise the acid of the stomach will come into the esophagus and can burn the lower end of the esophagus, which we commonly see in patients suffering from gastroesophageal reflux disease, commonly called as GERD. In this type of conditions, the acid regularly comes into the esophagus and cause damage to the lower end of the esophagus, giving a complaint of permanent burning sensation under the lower part of the chest in the front, and sometimes sour eructations and regurgitation of the food into the mouth, especially during the night, is commonly seen. This problem can sometimes become very serious because the changed nature of the lower part of the esophagus is precancerous in nature and can lead to the cancer of the esophagus in later life. Similarly, the another important problem of the esophagus is commonly seen in alcoholics who, after prolonged alcoholism, develop coarsening of the vessels at the lower end of the esophagus, which swell up. They are called as esophageal varices, and sometimes they can burst, leading to blood in the stomach, and sometimes blood may be vomited out over there. At the same time, normally we should not have any problem in swallowing our food. If the problem of the swallowing food is progressive in nature, and sometimes the first problem is with the solid food, which slowly and slowly becomes obstruction to the semi-solid food and ultimately liquid food also indicates that there is a progressive obstruction in the esophagus. This type of condition can occur due to a simple mechanical structure, and sometimes this type of obstruction can be due to a growth inside the esophagus or growth outside the esophagus, which is putting pressure over the muscular elastic esophagus, leading to problem in difficulty in swelling. Sometimes certain deficiencies like iron deficiency also leads to problem with the swelling of the food, which can be easily corrected by iron therapy or taking the adequate amount of iron over a prolonged period of time. Friends, the another common problem of the people is the regular eructations, that they have regular bouts of eructations. Now, one or two eructation after taking food, especially in the children, are natural. But if somebody has a regular habit of eructations, this does not find a good meaning in the digestive system. Sometimes this may be associated with certain neurological problems, certain psychological problem as well. Therefore, this type of tendency, when eructation is habitual, should be avoided. Otherwise, such people ultimately lead to the esophageal reflux disorders, and their lower end of the esophagus get burnt by the acid of the stomach. Friends, esophagus looks to be a very simple structure, but this is the important structure entry of food to the stomach for further digestion by enzymes of the stomach and forth transfer to the ileum or small intestine. I hope this is sufficient today. In next episode, we shall be talking about digestion at the level of stomach. Till that time, I will request you to give your feedback on the email of this channel. The email specially for the Ayurveda in questions is the Ayurveda helpline at gmail.com. The Ayurveda helpline at gmail.com. Thank you.